Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's going to be the official tier list, console in-depth tier list for the Paladins Dawnforge patch. Some main changes we got for this patch is we got Kasumi being added to ranked. We got some major item changes with lethality, kill to heal, and rejuvenate. And there's a few other smaller item changes that didn't really do anything, but and then that's pretty much it. We got some okay balance changes, but nothing that's really like game breaking and like that would really like shake up the game and like turn it on it upside down or anything. So last patch of the year, this is the last patch going into season 6. We got about 3 months now, probably until like the start of February until we're gonna get season 6. So we'll hopefully have some major changes that actually shake up the game at that point. And probably hopefully some rank changes too, because ranked is garbage right now. But if you guys like these types of videos, leave a like, subscribe, and share the video. Let's see if we can just get this video to 20 likes. If you guys keep on delivering the support and the like goals on these videos, I'll keep on bringing them for you guys. I do enjoy doing these videos, and I'm starting to play the game a lot more now. This last patch, I didn't really play at all. In the last couple patches, I haven't really been playing that much, apart from like the first couple days of a patch, but I am starting to play the game now, especially that they start actually fixing the game on Switch, and it runs a little bit better and actually seems to be working a little bit better now, which is an entirely different video. But if you guys missed my previous tier list, I'll have a link to that at the end of this video. Go check that out after this video is done. We're gonna hop right into this. Pretty much the same tier list as last time. S tier is your top stuff you're gonna be wanting to play every game. A+ is above average. B tier is your kind of below average. C tier is your pretty situational. D tier is the stuff that's borderline garbage, apart from like one very specific situation or reason. And you got your F tier, which is garbage. It's stuff that you're going to be pretty much picking just to lose. So, apart from that, let's hop right into this. Keep in mind too, ranked right now, y'all, like, I don't know why I call these ranked tier lists, because I think ranked right now is probably the worst it's ever been. Ranked isn't really that, like, even competitive anymore, unless you get to, like, your higher tiers of ranked, and, like, I'm talking, like, diamond tier and above. Anything below, like, diamond tier right now, the matchmaking is so awful, and ranked is just so bad right now that to the point where you can kind of just play anything you're really good with and still have a chance to rank up. So that's kind of what ranked really is right now, at least currently, just because the player base is dwindling away, unfortunately, mainly because of Overwatch 2 and a lot of other reasons. But like I said, that's an entirely different video as well. But I say this as a ranked tier list, but like, if you play with what you're good with, you can kind of easily climb. It just comes how much time you have and what you really want to play and how you want to get to the higher tiers. So, I don't know. I still want to do these though, because there still are champions that are better than others, and these lists are still really helpful. So let's get right into this. Kasumi, the newest champion, which is also should be in ranked right now because she's been in the game for about 2 months already. So if she's not ranked already, she should be being put into ranked within the next week or two. I put her way too low last patch. I think I had her at like a C tier last patch. She got the absolute shit nerfed out of her this patch, and she's still incredibly good. I'm putting her in A+. The only reason I'm not going to put her in an S tier, like an SS busted tier, is because she lacks 2 major things. She gets dove really, really easy because she has no form of mobility at all. She does have a teleport, but the teleport is really predictable, and it's really slow, and it has a pretty bad delay. But apart from that, like, I think it's also with the talent. You have to waste a talent on that, which you're not really going to be doing. That's a garbage talent. And then you have no medium, or like you have no long range poke damage or like damage beyond medium range. So if somebody is smart enough and they can actually poke you down from range, they'll just play outside of your range and kind of just win 1v1s versus you that way. Especially a lot of like the other DPS or like other flanks that actually have a lot of like range and damage beyond medium range, stuff like Maeve, that type of thing, like for example, and like the other DPS that can just out-damage you at that type of range, they can kind of 1v1 you and just take you down that way if they're smart and they know how to play the game. Overall, the real problem with Kasumi, they're going to have a nightmare absolutely balancing her. They're already having a nightmare balancing her because they nerfed her into the ground. They reduced her cone size. They did a bunch of other stuff for her, like her auto aim. Pretty much, it's still pretty much its auto aim. All you really need to do is just kind of look at somebody and you press a button, and you have no damage or you have no ammo on your damage. You just press a button, and then you have a burst damage that does like almost like I think what like 1100, 1200 damage at 5 stacks. And then you have a fear in your kit as well. With it's just fucking crazy. I don't know. I think she's just a poorly designed champion. I really do. They're gonna have a real tough problem balancing her because I think the real problem with her is she's just poorly designed. There's no real way to actually 100% balance her to make her balanced, and they're gonna find that out because she's still incredibly good, and they tried to nerf the absolute shit out of her this patch. I think she needs to be entirely reworked if they want to actually balance her, and I don't think they're ever going to do that. And they don't want to admit that they designed a poorly designed champion because that would be going back on what they've done, and they don't want to do that because they already get so much criticism for the just pumping out champions left and right every other patch already. So they don't want to do that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I do think she is really, really good, apart from those two major drawbacks from her, which are kind of just holding her back. If she had damage at any range, and she actually had some type of mobility that was better than what she has, I think she would be way better. Maeve. I think Maeve is A+ right now. Nothing with her has really changed, but I do think she is incredibly consistent. If you can play Maeve, I know I had a game on stream. I might have uploaded it already. If not, I should be uploading it here a couple days after this video goes up. But like, I haven't played the game. Like, I came back to playing the game, and I haven't played Maeve in like over 2 months, and I came back to playing the game on stream, and I played Maeve for the first time after like 2 months, and I just fucking destroyed her with her because she's one of my natural champions that I've always been good at and just fucking love playing. Incredibly good. If you know what you're doing with Maeve, you can make her work. I think she's one of the most consistent flanks in the game if you know how to play her. She has all the tools you need to actually play her as a flank, and she has everything that she needs to do her job perfectly. It just comes down to the player and how good you are as a player. If you're average or above, you can make her work. If you're garbage and you don't have any good aim and your aim is potato aim, then she'd probably be way lower. But I'm going to put her at A+ tier. The only thing she's lacking is she needs Street Justice reworked. I think that's the only thing she needs because that talent fucking sucks. Rogue's Gambit and whatever her other talent is, that I think it's the one that gives her resets and extra damage on pounds. I forgot what the talent names is, or Cat Burglar and Rogue's Gambit, I think they both are. Like, those talents are both good. They both are really useful and fun to play, but Street Justice is garbage. Rework Street Justice into a useful talent, and I think Maeve will be perfect. That's the only thing she's really lacking right now. Otherwise, really solid. And she also got a buff with lethality because lethality also gives bonus jump height now, and kill to heal is actually also uncauterizable. So you can actually buy kill to heal and you have way more sustain. And if you have enough credits to go into lethality, you can actually buy that and actually pick up lethality and gain extra jump height and movement speed and everything. So really solid right now. If anything, she's better than last patch, but not really good enough to move her up a tier. Up next, I got Koga. I mean, Koga can be better. Like, the problem with Koga is he's just a mid-tier pulp stomper. He has the same thing as Maeve too, because lethality got buffed, so he has extra jump height and movement speed with that item as well, which he does like to build. And he also likes to build kill to heal. But apart from that, I just have to put him A tier. Nothing with him's really changed apart from that, and that's always where he's pretty much going to be. Up next, we got Caspian. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think Caspian is fucking garbage. I think he is one of the worst designed champions I think we've gotten probably in recent memory, apart from like stuff like Betty La Bamba and a few other things that are just worthless and add nothing to the game. Especially, I guess, like Kasumi too. I hate Kasumi, but I don't think she should be in the game either. But like, when was the last time you guys have seen Caspian actually being played? I've seen Caspian being played until about 2 weeks after he got released. And after that, I never seen him being played at all ever again. I don't even remember the last time I've seen him in a game since he's been put into the game. Like I said, like 2 weeks after he was put into the game. Nobody plays him anymore, and they buffed him this last patch, which were actually some really solid quality of life buffs. And even then, I think he's still dog shit tier. Poorly designed champion that it only really works if you're like a cracked god tier at the game, and the only champion that you play 24/7 is Caspian. Unless if that's not you, I think he's going to be garbage. And I think we're finding out that he's fucking garbage. Really easy to check too. He is really easy to check because he has no poke damage beyond close range. As long as you don't let him get in your face, then he doesn't do anything the entire game. He's similar to Buck, but he's actually worse than Buck because Buck actually has ways to get out. His mobility is a lot better to get in and get out, and he also has his own self-recovery. Caspian doesn't have that. So I think he's actually even worse than Buck is. He kind of plays like Buck, and he's kind of similar. They both do the kind of the same thing, but I think Buck is actually better than him. I don't know. I just think he's poorly designed. Poorly designed champion that we should have never got. At least like kit-wise. I think design of the champion is cool. He's a cool concept for a champion, and like overall, like design-wise, champion itself, he's really cool looking. But like I'm talking like mainly like kit-wise, just garbage. Rushed, put into the game, and just shoved him out to us, and that he was just kind of put into the game, and it's kind of the point where I think he's just really just doesn't really do anything. I think he's just poorly designed. He really is. I don't know why he's even in the game. It's really sad because he's a really cool design champion, but like kit-wise, he's just garbage. Like I said, if you're not a Caspian like God that just does nothing but play him, you're gonna really be struggling playing him. If you do not know what you're doing, you're just gonna feed the entire time, and you're just better. The problem with Caspian is you're just better off picking any other flank in the game. Like apart from stuff like Eevee that takes a lot of skill to play and like those type of things, but like 90% of the other flanks in the game, you're just better off picking over Caspian. That's the real problem with him right now. There's no reason to play him. Unless you're an absolute god with him, which is really rare, and I've only seen maybe like a handful of people that are actually really gifted and actually good with him. The rest of the people I see play him, if I do see anybody playing him, which nobody's playing him at all anymore, they just feed. They don't do anything, and they just feed the entire game and just throw the match. What do we got next? We got Willow. I think Willow's... I'll put Willow at B tier. More situational, and the problem with her is she just gets dove way too easily. So if you're going against certain teams that just dive on you the entire game, then you just get screwed. But I do think she has some really crucial teams she can be good against. Stuff like Solar Blessing and like AoE type supports like Grover and stuff, which you aren't really seeing Grover played as much anymore, but like mainly like certain teams, kind of more of a situational, below average situational pick. You just got to learn how to play her because her mobility is garbage, and she just gets dove really easily. Torvald C tier, more situational. Like it comes down to if you actually have a team that you can actually use him with, because apart from that, I still after like the 10-minute mark, even with the Guardian changes he got like a couple patches ago or like a patch ago, he's still pretty bad. He becomes pretty much useless after about 10 minutes when people start stacking Wrecker and you start getting cauterized online. And that's always going to be the real problem with him. You got to have a team that just rolls the enemy team with the Torvald and have like one or two people on their team they can just pocket with bubbles the entire time. Apart from that, you just get rolled and you become useless. Ray might actually be one of the worst champions in the game. If Moji was not in this game, like I think I said it last patch, if Moji was not in this game, I think Ray would probably be by far the worst champion in this game right now. They also actually made her worse, y'all. There's actually a bug that they fixed with one of her cards that was actually giving her extra cooldown reduction on some of her abilities when it wasn't actually supposed to. And she still wasn't even good to begin with when she was actually had a bug that was giving her extra cooldown reduction. I think it was one of her loadout cards. They fixed that, and now she only has cooldown reduction with one ability instead of all of her abilities with a loadout card. So she's even worse than she was last patch with a bug fix. Round of applause to Hi-Rez. If you guys want to play Ray right now, you are asking to lose. She is one of the worst champions in the game apart from Moji. Might as well put Moji down here because get Moji out of the way. If Moji wasn't in this game, she would be by far the worst champion in the game. I'm not even going to talk about Moji. You guys know why Moji's fucking garbage. I'm not even going to talk about her. I'm not going to waste time talking about her. Moving on, let's go to Pip. I think they buffed Pip's damage this patch. I think he's still really situational. I'm gonna put him at B tier, but he does do more damage, and you can play him more as like a hybrid off flank this patch because they did buff Catalyst damage. So he's better than he was last patch, but not really enough to move him up, unfortunately. Still a really cool champion. I don't know why they don't give him any skin. He's supposed to be getting a skin, but overdue for a skin. Give Pip a skin and give Pip some love, please. One of the coolest champions in the game, and he's just thrown to the wayside yet again. I say it every patch, but it's true. Eevee C tier. If you're a God tier Eevee, or if this was a PC tier list, I'd move her up way higher, but there's a console, you don't see Eevee being played at all. And if you do, they either feed or they're like a God tier cracked Eevee, and they're like a one trick. That's kind of there's no really in between. That's the problem with Eevee. Atlas, as an off tank, I still think he's one of the best off tanks in the game. As a point tank, you're throwing, but as an off tank, S tier, incredibly good still. Nothing with him's really changed. Tiberius, I'm actually going to put Tiberius in D tier. I think Tiberius is garbage. I'm going to put him in D tier because there's just no reason to play him right now at all over like any of the other projectiles in the game or like pretty much a lot of the other DPS in the game. Like, what reason is there to play Tiberius? The guy needs to be buffed. He is a one ability chump that only does stuff during his combat trance, and apart from that, he just doesn't do anything. He has way too much downtime, and that is the problem with Tiberius. Why would I pick Tiberius when I can just pick Victor and just constantly reload mags and just dump mags into people? And then with Tiberius, I have to wait on a cooldown, like an 8-second cooldown for combat trance for 4 seconds to actually do something. Apart from that, I just don't do anything the entire game. Needs some major buffs. Tiberius needs major buffs. I don't know if it's talent reworks he needs, or if he needs major buffs to his kit. I don't know what they need to do, but he is garbage. The worst he's ever been. It's really sad, because Tiberius is such a cool champion, just like Pip and a lot of other champions in the game, and he's just been neglected ever since he's been put into the game. Ying is a heal bot, C tier. Maybe Ying will be good. I think the only time Ying will ever be good is if they actually ever get rid of all the damage talents from all the supports and rework those into actual healer type talents. I think that's the only time she'll ever be good. Or for Season 6, if they ever decide to actually remove Cauterize. I think that's be the only time Ying will ever be good. Apart from that, people just pick her as a throw pick, as like a DPS type support that doesn't heal and just does a minuscule amount of damage the entire game and just spams ult. And she's kind of just an ult bot. She'll never be more than that unless they get rid of her damage talents, and she's always going to be like that. Get rid of the damage talents for supports, please. That's what this game needs. For Season 6, remove all the damage talents for supports, or remove Cauterize from the game. Please. Holding back so many supports from actually being good and actually being viable. It really is. Amani C tier. They buffed her damage, y'all. They buffed her damage by 20 for her Frost Dance. Garbage. That's the only change I think she got to. I think there might have been something with her Fire Stance or like a bug that they got fixed as well. I'm not sure, but like apart from that, that's all she gotten. Still doesn't do enough damage. You're only really going to be playing her for her Fire Stance and her Ice Stance. If you want to run like Splitting Ice, like the damage just isn't enough. It gets healed through way too easily, and it's just like mosquito bite types of damage. It just doesn't do anything. You're just better off, like the problem with Imani is you're just better off picking a different projectile champion or like a lot of the other DPS champions. There's no reason to really play her. If you're really good with her, you can make her work, like she's still really fun to play, but like there's just, the problem with her is she's overshadowed by so many other champions right now that just do her job way better. Bomb King, same thing as Eevee. I'm not give him the same explanation as Eevee. Not going to talk about it very much. It's the same thing every tier list. Grok, C tier. As a support, he's garbage. Maelstrom, you can make work versus certain teams. That's why I'm putting him at a C tier. You can make that work versus certain teams, but apart from that, I think he's overall pretty bad. Barrack, S tier, one of the best tanks in the game, still. Sati, I think I'm going to put it in S tier, still incredibly good. Not worth a ban anymore, but she's still incredibly good. And she's even better now, too, with lethality. She builds lethality and kill to heal really well. Two items that she does like. Lethality is more of a filler item on her. It kind of depends what team you're going against too, because you want to run Wrecker and a lot of other stuff. But Kill to Heal is also really good on her, especially if you can get consistent picks and stuff. A lot more self-sustain, what really does help her out. Terminus still the same thing, still ban worthy. Pick Nimble 3, and then the majority of the teams in your mid-tier ranked games don't know how to play against you, and you just run at them. Run at them and like swing your axe 3 times and just kill them. Pretty much what Terminus is. Still needs to be nerfed. Andro, still the best flank in the game. Nothing with him has changed. The only thing they changed for him is actually that they fixed his animation for his Curse Revolver out of the PTS. Apart from that, no other nerfs. Nothing with him's really been changed at all. Still incredibly broken. Still 3 shots people. And actually 2 shots people with headshot. Most squishies, so. Still incredibly busted. I don't know why they just don't nerf Andro. I don't know what favoritism they have for Andro and why they just don't nerf him into the ground. I really don't. But here we are. Reg, as for blasters, I think he's still the best one in the game. S tier, nothing with him's really changed. Lex, in your mid to low tier game, still ban worthy every single game. I don't even know why he's under the flank category, because he's pretty much a DPS. Like, that's the problem with Lex. He's just a DPS that's under the flank category. Fernando got buffed this patch. I'm going to put him at an S tier. You can actually play Fernando as an off-tank Morial because they actually buffed Scorch. Scorch got buffed. They buffed the damage, the damage percentage on Scorch this patch. So, better than last patch, but not really S tier worthy. It's more mainly S tier. I think he was S tier last patch too, but he's a little bit better. Not really much really changed though. Saris is still bugged. I don't think she's that good. I'm going to put her at a B tier. Still bugged. She's just a heal bot. That's mainly what she is. And half the time she tries to throw out an alt, it doesn't work because it's still bugged. They did not fix the alt bug. So you're playing a support that only does healing, and the one thing that actually makes her good is having a spammable alt that you can make plays off of, and half the time it doesn't want to work. It won't pull people into it. B tier. Cassie, best projectile in the game. S tier. Nothing with her's changed, but if you want a projectile champion, you play Cassie. Incredibly good. There is nothing about her that is actually bad at all. 3 viable talents, really good, diverse set of loadout cards. You can build loadouts really efficiently with her, whatever you want to run. Great amounts of damage, really solid, consistent ult that actually provides stuff for the team. Everything you want out of a DPS in a projectile, there you go. No reason to play Amani or Tiberius over a Cassie at all right now. Io got nerfed. I still think she's incredibly good. Nothing with Io's changed. They nerfed her, I think her healing numbers, or I think something with Luna. I think they nerfed Luna or something. The healing she puts out still didn't do anything. Still the most consistent, best support in the game. If you guys want to win most of your games and play a support that's really fun to play Io. Nothing with hers really changed. Furia, same thing. Really consistent, really easy to play, really good. Just don't play Exterminate in your ranked games because you're throwing. Anything apart from Exterminate, please. Do not play Exterminate as a solo support in your ranked games. You're throwing. Leon, S tier. Same as last patch. Nothing with hers really changed. 7, S tier. Still incredibly bursty and still incredibly annoying to deal with. I just don't think he's worth a ban anymore. He's still incredibly good, though. I think he needs to actually be nerfed again. I really do. I think he's worthy for another nerf. We'll find out what they do in this for the Season 6 update. Khan, S tier. One of the best off-tanks in the game. Really easy to play. Incredibly good ult. Same thing as last patch. Tyra got a new skin this patch. S tier still. Nothing with her's really changed at all. Sky, if anything, she's actually better this patch because she actually got lethality, which actually helps her a lot with the lethality buffs because that's one thing she actually likes to build. Same with Kill to Heal. So it gives her more self-sustain and more movement speed without having to waste that on loadout cards. So she's actually better this patch, if anything, but not really worthy to be put into SS tier. Still going to be pub stomping your lower to mid-tier ranked games, though, where nobody knows how to play versus anything. Just like she's always been. And there are AOC members that are actually trying to lobby to get Sky buffed. Sky does not need any buffs at all. She's perfect where she is. She's always going to be a pub stomper type type champion that's going to be in the game, that's good at like your lower to medium tiers of play, and then kind of bad in your higher tiers of play, that whatever higher tiers are left at this point, with the small amount of high tier players that are actually playing the game still. But I don't know, people are trying to get her, the AOC is trying to get her buffed. Do you guys want to ruin the game? Do you guys want the game to be fun, or do you guys want the game to stay how it is? Because I want Sky to stay how it is, because she's already really frustrating to play against. Especially if you're stuck on a team of bums and you're the only one that's actually able to kill her, and she just goes and farms the rest of your team. I don't know. AOC, leave it to the AOC to always make bad decisions and try to lobby for bad stuff. Victor, S tier, still the same as he was. Same with Vivian, same as S tier. Octavia is actually borderline SS tier. I think Octavia might actually be worth a ban. Like, you could maybe argue to ban Octavia this patch, because lethality, out of I think all the characters in the game, the one that got the buff the most from lethality were Maeve and were Octavia, because Octavia's passive, to where you can actually float in the air after jumping, procs off of lethality, because you get the extra jump height per tier now. So you get extra jump height, and you're actually able to activate your passive of being able to sit in the air and float in the air off of jumping a lot more frequently, which makes you a lot harder to hit, and allows you to take a lot of other cool angles, which normally you wouldn't be able to take without a cooldown being used. So if anything, she's better than last patch. You could argue if she's ban worthy, but I'm going to keep her in S tier just because I don't think she's like a ban every single game. But it's still really good. She's better than last patch just because of an item change. Ruckus, I'm going to put A tier. As an off-tank, he can be good. It just comes down to player. If you don't know what you're doing, don't play him. But as an off-tank, he does have potential to be good. Yag, A tier, average. You need a team to be built around her, and she just keeps getting nerfed for some reason. So, I don't know. She's kind of just there right now. Kanessa, B tier. Kind of fallen off. Ever since she got nerfed, she kind of continues to fall off. Talus, I'm going to put A tier. Definition of a pub stomper. Similar to like Kolga, but once you get past your higher tiers, he falls off a lot. Always been that way, and that's always how it's going to really be. Damba, I'm going to put it B tier. It kind of comes down to the player. I think Damba has potential to be good, but on console, you're kind of just forced to play Ripen's Gourd. You don't really see him being played that much, and there's not really much reason to play him over a lot of the other supports that are just easier to play. He's more of a PC type of healer. He's really cool. I think he's one of the coolest champions this game has. But I just wish he was better on console. Corvus, definition of a average support right now. Nothing with him's crazy at all. Just definition of average. Same with Janos. They're both in the same boat. Extremely average supports that just do their job averagely and nothing more. Vatu, I'm going to put Vatu at C tier. You don't see him being played much on console. He's mainly a PC type champion, but if you are on console and you're a god with Vatu, you can carry games. He's broken on PC, but you don't see him played nearly enough on console. I don't know if they're going to nerf him again or what, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to move Lilith up to A+ tier. I think I had her at an A tier last time. Lilith got buffed, y'all. They buffed her Swarm. They gave it I think it's a 1 second cooldown, but they gave it a 1.5 second extra duration on her Swarm ability. And they also made it so when you're channeling your Swarm, you can use a movement ability of Death Wings to actually use that while you're actually channeling, which you couldn't do before. So it gives her some more movement options. Small buffs made her a little bit better. It's enough to actually move her up. I think she is a lot better than last patch. So I'm going to move her up to an A+ tier. If you guys want like one of the more recent support champions that's actually decent and actually fun to play, check out Lilith if you guys haven't played her yet, if you're a newer player, or if you guys want something new to play. Pretty damn good and actually fun to play. Azan's completely fallen off. I haven't even remember the last time I've seen anybody play Azan, let alone do good with him. I don't know where Azan went. He was busted on release. They nerfed the absolute shit out of him, and ever since he got the shit nerfed out of him, he's just been falling down like over the year or whatever he's been in the game. I don't know what happened to him. I think he needs to be buffed. I don't know if they need to give him a new skin. I don't know what they need to do. Absolutely just falling off. If you're good with this on, you can make him work. Like, he's still not really bad, but like, just nobody plays him. And there's just no reason to play him over a lot of the other off tanks in the game. If you play him as a point tank, you're just throwing. Don't play him as a point tank either. Grover, below average, completely fallen off. Ever since they reworked his talents, he's fallen off. It sucks, but that's what they needed to do because Grover was being played way too much, and now he's kind of just there, which is good. It gives a lot more supports in the game that weren't really being played a chance to shine, but it sucks for Grover. Betty LaBamba, y'all. I'm going to put Betty LaBamba at an A+ here. You could argue if you actually want to play Betty LaBamba over like a Dredge now, you probably could. They buffed her damage slightly, and they fixed one of her most major bugs to where when you actually were using your ult and you would run your ult into somebody, it would do 0 damage half the time. They actually fixed that bug now, so her ult's actually a lot more consistent and actually does damage now. So I don't know. If you get, like, she feels really good to play. Like, I'm not going to sit and shit on Betty LaBamba, but, like, she's way better than she was. I don't know if it's really worth moving her into an S tier, though, over, like, a Dredge or, like, a Drogos. You could argue maybe S tier, but just for this tier list, I'm going to put her at an A+, because I think she still is kind of outshadowed by both of those, but, like, the reason why I would say maybe you can argue she's S tier because she does have more mobility, and she still kind of does the same thing now with the damage buff at the same a lot of the other blasters, because she's kind of on par with damage now. So I don't know. Drogos, I'm going to move Drogos A+ here. Kind of the same. Nothing wasn't really changed at all. Zin, A+. Nothing with him's really changed at all. Fora, same as last patch. Nothing's really changed at all. Ashe, A tier, average. Nothing with her's really changed at all. She got a really cool, badass looking skin this patch. Unfortunately, does not have an actual like custom voice pack. It is the same voice pack as Ronin Ashe, which sucks. I did not realize that in the update show or anytime until I actually played it in game, which sucks, but the skin itself looks really badass. Then you got Inara, which did get buffed with the Rejuvenate being buffed, but she also got her Rejuvenate nerfed in her kit. She's kind of, the problem with Inara is she's just a point sponge, and that's all she really does. That's all she really does. Doesn't really bring much to a team apart from being on the point, just standing on the point the entire game. Then last but not least, you got Rom, which got a new skin that looks awful this patch. That's about all he really got. Average. Way too many checks in the game for Rom to make him work consistently every game, but he's average. You can make him work if you know what you're doing. Next, we got Buck. Buck's going to B tier. Nothing with Buck has changed at all. He's better than Caspian, and a few of the other flanks are on console, but there's just really no reason to be playing him right now. Unless you're like a Buck one-trick god, there's no reason to be playing him at all. Strix, B tier. He was being played a lot more when he got buffed last patch. He's kind of fallen off again. I think he was just kind of like a new, shiny new toy syndrome of last patch, and then now nobody's really playing him again. I don't really know why. Kind of the same as Knessa right now. Like, I think both the snipers are kind of the same now. They're both kind of the same. I still think Strix is worse than Knessa is, like, overall as like a sniper, but it depends which one you're good with. They're not really that good apart from on their good maps. Shaolin. When was the last time you guys have seen a Shaolin being played on console, let alone a Shaolin actually doing good? What Shaolin really needs is a new skin. He's way better on PC than he is on console, but I'm putting him in D tier because I just don't see him played. And when I do see him play, he does nothing on my team, and he just feeds and throws my match. So, then last but not least, we got Makoa, which I'll be putting at B tier. Unless you land every single hook on Makoa, there is no reason to play him. Unless you land like 95% of your hooks. He just gets shredded by a lot of this stuff right now, and he's pretty difficult to play unless you know what you're doing. Very situational. That being said, though, that is the entire tier list. I'll let you guys look one last time. There you go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If I did not explain anything or I forgot to talk about something, let me know. I'll be answering most of the comments. And, yeah, so if you guys like these types of videos, let me know. Like I said, we'll see if we can get this video to 20 likes. If these continue to do well, I'll keep on bringing them to you guys every Paladins patch. Next patch we have is for Season 6, which is going to be about, I'm assuming, probably sometime in February. So it'll be a while until we get a new patch, unfortunately. And I don't think there's really enough content to keep people interested for 3 months. So the game's gonna still drop off, and then with season 6, depending on what they better have some like game-changing type stuff planned for season 6, because it's not looking too good for the game right now, if I'm being 100% real with you guys. But that's an entirely different video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in a future video. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching. Peace out, everybody.